Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today's video we'll be going over the updated Issho list. So let's get into it. We'll start off with the Navy package and I'll work our way around. So we're running 2 stage, which can go up to 3 stage because stage is actually pretty important. Running 4 Ice Age because Ice Age is just a really good 1 cost -5. Running 4 of the Suru, or Granny as she is called in the streets, because she's a 1 cost -2. We're running 3 of the Tashigi because Tashigi is an active main -2, which you can rest, and that rest comes up importantly. We are playing the 1 Hina because she comes up important if you have these cards established, which are the 2 Kobe. And then that comes up in handy if you have a Hina and a Kobe established. Then it makes playing the Son Goku a lot easier, which is why you play the Hina, which is why you actually play the Tashigi, and you don't mind playing the Tashigi to go ahead and go into a Son Goku, especially if you have the Kobe on board, resting both of those preemptively, and just go ahead and have a free KO without having to waste swings. Is nice. Alright, what else you got? Now we're running the 2 Kuzan because Kuzan is very, very important for reduction, especially if you don't have any of your other reduction cards. Playing your creatures for reduction is your best option so that you always have a roundabout way of reducing, so you're not always dependent on seeing your events. You just need to see any of your creatures that have the ability to reduce, which can be any of these guys to help you with these guys. So I'm playing 2 of the Barcelona blocker because he is such a good blocker and he's so important for the deck for keeping you alive, and being an indestructible blocker is really good, especially since your opponent has a problem getting rid of them on their turn. We're playing 3 of the brand new being the searcher of the deck. Very important to play because you want to try and fill up your graveyard and try and use your cards as often as you can and try and get them to your disposal. We're playing 3 of the Son Goku. Son Goku being another card that helps you cycle out all of the non-counter black cards that you would have in your hand, such as your Kuzans or your Hinas, and try and move those out of your hand when you don't have access to a little bit better cards, or you want to try and get access to some of your better cards. We're playing 1 Helmeppo and using the 1 Helmeppo for the reduction, for the times we need the reduction. For again, with the Kobe lead ability, that's a -4, so that means any 6 cost or lower is going to be put into range for Kobe to KO pop, which is very important to have a searchable kind of small jack. We're playing 2 of the 3-drop Kobe because he's still very important to play off of your. Well, it's still very important to play off of a Rebecca play, and you always want to have access to him as a 3-drop. And we're playing the 1 Kuzan, who may not be Navy, but still very important for the deck. Now, your 3-drops are very important, so I might go up to 1 more Kobe because your 3-drops just work in so much conjunction with your Rebecca, and you're kind of sort of reliant on those 3-drops. 3-drops being the Tashigi, the Hina, the Kobe. Those are the biggest ones in which you're trying to bring back and use over again with the Rebecca to go ahead and reduce, so that again, if you have this Kobe on board and he has survived, to go ahead and stay past his initial play, because you play him on a higher down turn to where you can go ahead and play him, use his effect in every stand-em, and then go ahead and keep on using him with the reduction that you have on board, which is why it makes the Kuzan so powerful. Because if you have a stage in play, you have a Kuzan that's a -6, so that means that any card that is at cost 8 or less is going to be in range for when Kuzan comes down. So that means if they have a cost 5 on the board, that cost 5 gets KO'd, and then like I said, they got the cost 8 that cost 8 can get KO'd as well, also acting as a pseudo blocker. So having characters on board, having characters in play that can already KO is super important, super efficient for this deck. And because it's an active main, it also helps get around the Whitebeard. I'm also running 2 Finger Pistol. You're running the 2 Finger Pistol also for the same reason, which you're running the Kobe's. They are an active main, they are not an on play. It helps you get around the Whitebeard whenever they're playing against that match, to go ahead and help you to just try and get into KOing some of those creatures. We are playing 3 of the 3 of the Gecko-Moria. Gecko-Moria, again, being a really good card for bringing back all your black pieces and making sure that you can stay in tempo with the game and putting you into a little bit more better position than your opponent. we're playing 3 of the Brook, part of your 3-drop package. What you want to see your Brooks and you want to see your Copies, because reoccurring those is what you're going to use to KO your creatures. Again, having a Brook established but also having a Kuzan established is very powerful, because you go ahead and be able to do a lot of reduction. Your opponent's going to have to want to focus your Kuzans, they're going to want to focus your Brooks, they're going to focus your Copies. Instead of focusing your life, they could focus your life, but they're going to lose their creatures, and eventually you'll start to build up a defense in which they cannot get past. You're playing 3 of the Sabo blocker being good for his on play, keep all of your characters alive and just keep you in cycle of the game. Cycling cards out of your hand. Again, getting rid of that 9 counter. We're playing 2 Jack. The reason we're only playing 2 Jack is because 2 Jack and 2 Kobe are essentially the same thing. The Kobe being searchable and usable with your Navy package to go ahead and search it from the deck and or pitch it if you need to for the Son Goku. But it also being within range of getting back with Rebecca makes it also pretty good. You also play the 1-man cherry still. Playing the 1-man cherry because it allows us to get back our Rebeccas, Rebecca allows us to get back our Sabos, and it also allows us to get back our Kobe's if we need to. But mostly we want to use it to get back our Rebeccas, to get back any of our 3 drops to go ahead and pop. This Kobe is super important because it is our reduced by 3, play a blocker, play something to KO. So just simply being able to have this combo is really good. That's why I say you actually might want to go up to playing 1 more Kobe, because how important this Kobe is for the deck. Because of the state of the meta, you actually want to be playing a little bit more of these Kobe's, just because you want to have access to an active main instead of having something, like I say, that is more so not. We are playing also 1 Rob Lucci, because the Rob Lucci can come up so in handy and so good in this deck because his ability to KO your characters is super good for keeping you in tempo. Playing this in an early game situation is going to help again in those purple Luffy matches where you'll be able to go ahead and get rid of 2 bodies instead of 1, which again gives you great tempo into the game. This is the deck, and this is how I play it. Like I said, I play it for mostly reduction in tempo, so I play a lot of my characters out to go ahead and reduce and pop. So again, I don't mind playing out a Tashigi to play out a Kobe if I've got a Kobe Tashigi established. Like I've got these 2 that I'm actually somehow get them to survive. Then I can just easily go rest, and then play another card to KO. Or if I play some sort of reduction to KO, then I just made it really easy for myself to get rid of my opponent's characters. It's a really good deck. The consistency is, let's say, the only thing that is still a bit lacking, but that's just black. But you can actually wind up evening out with it. It just depends on the matchup, like I say, depends on what you see. But for the most part, it's got really good control. It's got really good, very good control actually. I would call this like discount Lucci even. I would say like losing Ice Age and Gecko Moria would probably be the biggest hit to this deck, but there are still great workarounds for that. And because of how One Piece is releasing its library of cards, especially with the new event that was just released, or a new event that was just revealed today for Navy, that allows you to trash the cards, being able to cycle is going to be a lot easier for black. And this deck is just going to get a lot better, especially with the green Tashigi coming out, helping you to just go ahead and restand it on. Every turn it's going to get really wicked, you know what I mean? But to show you just about what can happen there now, I can't do this as good as I did the Reiju, because the Reiju is a little bit more easy to predict, like what your opponent's kind of sort of stuff to do. But like, let's say you even be in a turn 1 scenario where you're a turn 1 player, you'll bloop, and then your opponent goes and they do whatever searching they want to do. You would obviously do this, go to a 5 to life. You would want to search with your brand new, because if you don't have anything you're going to destroy, then why in the heck would you, brand new. And you also want to fill the graveyard, not with those cards though, that's kind of sucks. So you're more than likely going to have to take this hit because you don't want to get rid of the Kobe, because you want to make sure you're getting rid of whatever they play next. So you go ahead and take. It'll be your turn. You go to 5 done. They would have played an effective creature that you want to get rid of. So you draw. You go ahead and attach it Dawn's Leader to reduce that 4 to reduce the 4 to a 3. And then summon the Cobes to go ahead and pitch to go ahead and KO. And then you swing. It'll be your turn. You probably try and protect yourself this time because you don't want to take another life. Go ahead and pitch, especially since you got this Gecko Moria set up here. Your opponent would go. You would say take, draw a card. This is not the best show cussing, but this is also what I say about it can potentially be super inconsistent. But anyway, at this point in time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Depending on what it is your opponent played, depending on how strong it is. Like I said, if they played a 6-drop for that turn, then obviously you just put it down onto leader, swing 6 into lead, swing 4 into lead, swing 2 into lead, and then summon the Sengoku for 6 to KO the character you just reduced. And then, your opponent would go. Like I say, depending on what your opponent has, depending on how aggressive they want to be, if they're too worried about getting hit with another Sengoku, then they'll probably swing at your board, which isn't the brightest of moves, but it's probably something they would do. And you'd probably take a life at that point. And then it would be your turn again. You draw your only saving grace, but it's not in the graveyard, which is unfortunate. But you still make the same play of if there's something big on board, you're going to go ahead and play an Ice Age to reduce it, and then play a Gekomoria. It's all 9 you're down. And you will play a Helmeppo, whatchamacallit combo. Make sure that you get it all the way down. I mean, Ice Age, I'm pretty sure would have cleared it, but now you just got bodies. And you just go ahead and ditch the Rebecca, obviously, for the next Gekomoria. And you just go 5 life, 7 life. They would do what they do, defend or whatnot. They would go at you, you would have to take, and then it'd be your turn again. And then you'd have all 10 done. They had a big creature on board. You're obviously going to take big creature out because you're going to go swing. Ice Age on your big guy, and bring him on down. And then you're going to go these would have swung first, just to get that out, unless you need to get blockers off the board. I still might have just swung with those. But I know it was a Helmeppo on field. But yeah, the Helmeppo on field would have been taken out for that, and then these two would be taken out for unless I didn't need the Helmeppo. Like if the -6 was enough to take something down, I wouldn't take out the Helmeppo. I'd actually instead take out the Search for the reverse. So instead of replacing Helmeppo, I would replace this and then replace these two so that I can get access to this and this, and then I would use this. So 1, 2, 3. I'll grab the bar saw because I want the counter and the blocker. Those are actually gonna go to the trash. This ain't Reiju. We get the Kobe back. Then we use Kobe, trade out for that. We pitch counter we just got to KO. And then, like I said, we would have used these to go into creatures. If there were creatures on board, just to keep the swings to life down. Then we block. That would have been all I done for the turn. Then these get reached in. Our opponent's in trouble now, because now we have what we just simply Mancherry for 2, sending to events, grabbing a Rebecca, playing over Kobe, the Rebecca, grabbing back, and it's the only card in our hand. If we had a 2K, we grab a 2K. We can't grab a 2K, so we just grab, the blocker. And that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 is left. At this point, we don't really need the Mancherry again. If we really need to defend ourselves super heavy, we just play those out and then before all that, we would swing the 7, 7, 9, 5. And then we just left our board stable like this with 1 card in hand, 2 blockers, 1 indestructible. As long as they ain't got the cards on board to kill us, obviously we survive, and then clearly we should be winning on this turn. That would suck. But, you know, that's just hypotheticals, and if everything was to go in your favor and all other kind of jazz. But, you know, that's just the way to play, a possibility. You know, and not to say that, like I say, games are just fall in your lap like that. They just really won't. You know, it's just the best case scenario for everything that could go right if everything were to go right and in your favor. But, you know, that's just me, Issho, and me explaining me, Issho. So, yeah, you guys enjoy. I wish I could just find this button. I wish I had like a hey Siri, press this fucking button for me. Peas and rice. It's never been so difficult. It's so hard today.